will destroy you with my turbo glove, the ultimate weapon against the robot threat. But to be a true hero, you'll have to save your girlfriend.
Hey, what's that in your hand?
It's a comic book.
What's it about?
It's about a turbo rider.
That's rad.
I always wonder what the other side looked like.
It's kind of gray and dusty. Well, I could show you.
Around here, we like to do things with a little more joie de vivre.
Where is she? Release the girl!
This is gonna get ugly.
As you may know, the situation is critical. We have reached maximum casualty level.
Who exactly are you supposed to be?
Turbo rider.
This is it, soldier. We have to hit these damn machines with everything we've got.
Find them, kill them, and knee back their heads on pikes.
I'm meeting up with an old mate. We're going straight to Zeus. What do you say? Let's roll.
Okay, Turbo Kid. As we've discussed, a co-production of Canada and New Zealand. And it is a deeply bizarre movie. It's one of these retro futures. It's a post-apocalyptic future, but as might have been imagined in the late 70s or early 80s. Like, again, it's not attached to the real world at all. It's in this adjacent place, this world next door. And we meet Turbo Kid riding around on his awesome BMX bike and collecting his comics that he somehow salvaged out of the junkyards of the wastelands, and living this imaginary, like how you as a little kid growing up in the 80s or something would imagine you might survive in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. And it's fun how the movie is really loudly winking at you and sort of almost looking at you through the TV in acknowledgement of the artifice and the strangeness of the world. But in spite of that, in a way few films seem to be able to manage, the movie still manages to tell us a story that has adventure, that has stakes, that has romance, where the things that happen kind of matter. It's strange. Here's a weird connection to make, but I'm a fan of Wes Anderson films. And Wes Anderson films do this exact thing, where they establish a world that is unreal, that is fanciful and strange and nothing like ours, and make a point of showing you how unreal it is, and yet somehow manage these scenes that really pay off emotionally, almost out of nowhere. What Turbo Kid manages, I think, better than any of the movies that we're going to talk about on this list of movies, is getting me to invest in the characters and in their goals. I hate Michael Ironside. I want Michael Ironside's character to be punished for the evils that he does. I love the badass New Zealand post-apocalyptic cowboy dude. I love Turbo Kid. And I most especially love his love interest, who we eventually find out, spoilers, and if I'm spoiling Turbo Kid for you, please stop right now and just watch Turbo Kid. It's 85 minutes of your life, and it's totally worth it. But his absolutely batshit crazy girlfriend gets revealed to actually be a robot at some point in the movie, but it doesn't really change their feelings for each other. It is appallingly violent, unapologetically absurd, and strangely wistful, and none of that should work together, and yet I'm here to tell you that all of it works together. I don't know how, but Turbo Kid is the prize of this group of movies for me. I was just knocked out by how much I liked it. And I was a little bit late to the party. It had been out for 4 or 5 years, and I kind of got around to watching Turbo Kid. And then I was that irritating guy bugging everybody. Did you see Turbo Kid? Yeah, like 5 years ago. But if I'm late to the party then, I'm going to make up for it now. I found it completely charming. I laughed out loud a lot. I was shocked at the way things played out a lot. It wasn't impossible to predict, and yet it felt familiar. It was a whole lot of fun packed into this 85 minutes. I've seen it a half a dozen times, and I'm sure I will see it again. Are you on the same page, or do you think that I am crazy right now?
No, I actually agree with you. The post-apocalyptic in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of 1997.
That's right.
This is like so many. You go back and you watch these movies from the 70s and 80s, and you look at the dates, and like, yeah, this is the waste. I mean, Terminator is specifically 97.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those movies set in the 2000s and all the dates we've passed, and this is the way that people now imagine the people in the 80s imagine
the future,
the post-apocalyptic future. It's like the rose-tinted glasses of the 80s.
Retro future. They did a whole movie called Space Station 76, which is just a modern take on that, which is like what the 50s thought that 1976 would look like. So,
I mean, it's fun, and it's not like there's a lot of references and outright homages, like the Power Glove thing. It's, the Nintendo Power Glove. He does the He-Man Master of the Universe sword thing with it. There's like a musical sting, and it's really absurd all at once and fun, and like laugh out loud moments. Some of the violence. I said this in the intro, but there's one point where a guy's head gets cut in half, lands back on top, spins around. It's making like the coconut spinning. And I was just like laughing by myself in my room like a crazy person by this. And I'm having fun the whole time. I have fun every time that we got a shot of the enemy gang arriving on their bicycle and their BMX showing up and like posing, striking poses.
It really is an indictment of how not very cool bikes were, but there was a time, like when I was a kid, where like, yeah, the BMX bike was like super cool. But, like, you can't get going fast on it. There's lots of scenes where Turbo Kid gets on his bike and they show him awkwardly, slowly creeping away. And
just like, he jumps over a little tiny bit of dirt. Whoa, like we see, like the camera angle of him going a good 3 feet up in the air. There's something just really fun about it. They get the tone right. They get the villainous, they get the villainous, and they get a protagonist heroic, and yeah, there is a heart and soul to this with the interactions and the characters, and even we get a flashback with his parents being killed by the villain. Everything at the end, the bad guy's a robot.
Yeah,
it's like, it's so silly, and I don't know how they did, but it works. It works in a way that it shouldn't, I think. And
yeah,
it's well worth your time to watch. And it does make me think, it's just purely because BMXs are not cool to see in the post-apocalypse, because there would be bicycles. Bicycles will work for a lot longer than gasoline-powered cars. Sorry, Mad Max. Mad Max is one of my favorite series, but
no, they would be on bikes at best. I don't know how much good a bike will do you in that kind of desert, but yeah. But again, it's not trying to be the real world. I don't even think that Mad Max is exactly trying to be the real world, right? It's just...
No, absolutely.
And
I mean,
like...
you can always, when something is good, and you become invested in the story, and the silly things you either accept or you enjoy. In this case, you certainly enjoy that they put it in there. That becomes a lot of the reason why you're liking it is the foolish things when everything else is working so well.
I also wanted to take a minute on Michael Ironside. I mean, I was in a movie with Michael Ironside, thanks. I was an extra in Black Ice. I didn't have a line. I was a blur over his right shoulder in a scene. There's nothing in it.
I was just about to get watching.
I smile and a handshake with Michael Ironside, but I don't know. I always like to see him, and he's my 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon guy to enter me into Hollywood, right? But I do think, like, he's definitely getting older. He's definitely, maybe, I won't say past his best before date, but maybe past his prime. But he absolutely delivers as this ultra villain. And, like, there's several scenes where he just does stuff that pisses you off so much. when he shoots the love interest before we realize that she's essentially immortal, I was genuinely shocked. And the scene where he kills the parents, and of course he killed Turbo Kid's parents, but he's just such a son of a bitch about it that, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's my over-Canadian overcompensating for Canadianism, but I've always been a big fan of that dude and continue to be a big fan of Michael Ironside. I just see him in a movie and it makes me smile.
Yeah, I think he's great as well. You know, ever since I saw Starship Troopers
That's
as a
right.
lad, I was like, this guy is a cool dude. I even like, most people hate Terminator Salvation,
Yeah.
but like, I like that movie. And I like Michael Ironside in that movie.
It has its moments.
He's probably a big reason why. And it's a fun bad guy. He's comically evil, but he's polite as well. You know, he's the gentleman thug or something. There's a lot to.
He appreciates the performative aspect of being an ultra villain in a post-apocalyptic landscape. There's got to be a certain level of presentation to what the evil shit that you do, right?
Yeah.
I also need to give it to New Zealand and Canada as well, but I do think New Zealand is it. I don't think they invented splat stick, but I think they may have perfected it. Like, the scenes where these guys get cut in half and then the top half of their body sort of splorts onto this dude's head and is, like, wobbling around.
like
It's this
a
big
chicken.
cartoon character totem pole thing that completely absurd, completely, like it should be in a cartoon, but just take everything on the chin. Like, the amazing thing about this world, and I wish there was a dozen of these movies. I wish we were on Turbo Kid 8 right now, but, like, you could keep going. This universe could tell 1,000 different stories, and everything's on the table here. Like, there's nothing that could happen. A giant lizard could erupt out of the ground. A spaceship could land. Like, everything's on the table in Turbo Kid world. And, over-the-top gore and violence, nostalgia. I mean, it's maybe not good for us. Maybe it's got a little too much sugar on it, but I just can't bring myself to say anything bad about Turbo Kid.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It was a standout of this lot, I think. Just fun, great stuff, and unfortunately, I think it had to have actually have been made in the 80s for you to get the sequels you wanted.
That's right.
But it's good. It's good that we got what we did. I would like to see them, do something else in this vein, because they get everything, I think, right about it.
And it's not as easy as you'd think to just we'll just do a nostalgic, post-apocalyptic, ultra-violence.
No, been tried.
Yeah, that's like everything is on the stove at once, and somehow it's all delicious. So congratulations to everyone involved.